right, it is 8:45 and it is time for the news bulletin of the Sandton Amateur Radio Club, and we bring you this bulletin this morning from the shack of ZS6HI Keith, and it is being rebroadcast by Noel ZR6DX on 7115 megahertz, the 40-meter band, and it will be recorded and put out on our YouTube channel as well for those who are unable to make the bulletin this morning. We will start with the South African Radio League news for Sunday, 24 March 2023. Good morning and welcome to the weekly news bulletin of the South African Radio League, read by Keith as ZS6HI from Four Ways in Johannesburg. The South African Radio League broadcasts a news bulletin every Sunday in Afrikaans and English at 8:15 and 8:30 Central African Time respectively on HF and various VHF and UHF repeaters around the country. The bulletin is relayed on Echolink by Johan and ZS6JPL. The audio bulletins can be downloaded from the League website at sarl.org.za, while the text bulletin can be downloaded from sarlnewsbulletin.wordpress.com. In the SARL news today, learn about home brewing in the digital era. The SARL Hamnet Gauteng reflects, and learn about open wire transmission line. Stay tuned for more information on these and other interesting news items. We unfortunately start this bulletin with news of two silent keys. It is with regret that we must announce that the key of Sid Kuzner, ZS6MG, ZS1MG, and ZS4MG went silent on Sunday, 17 March 2024, at the age of 96 after a long illness. Sid was first licensed on 12 June 1951. We expect our deepest condolences to his three children, Norma, Louis, and Jacqueline, and their families. Sid's daughter, Jacqueline, donated all Sid's memorabilia, documents, and QSL cards to the SARL History Project. Included is a logbook that seems to be from the Radio Society of South Africa's shack, dated 09 April 1925, with the last entry dated 09 November 1946. There is also mention of amateur radio licenses being suspended on 29 October 1939 before World War II up until 13 January 1946, after World War II had ended, and when the amateur licenses were reissued. Sid's SARL jacket with a gold-woven SARL badge on the pocket, which seems to be the first SARL badge together with two ties, is amongst the items received. There are also various QSL cards from various South African radio amateurs dating before and after World War II. Now that is very interesting. I certainly was unaware of shack starting in 1925, and then obviously the licenses being suspended for World War II. That is very interesting. It is also with regret that we must announce that the key of Martin Blake, ZS6GUN, went silent on Tuesday, 19 March 2024. We extend our sincere condolences to his wife and daughter, family, and friends. You are listening to a news bulletin of the South African Radio League, broadcast by the Sandton Amateur Radio Club. Now let's learn about home brewing in the digital era. Register now for the SARL Technical Symposium. The SARL Technical Symposium, Science and Technology in Amateur Radio, will take place on Saturday, 6th April 2024 from 10 to 1500 CAT, or 8 to 1300 UTC. It is a virtual event on the WebEx platform. Participation is free, but registration is required. And you will find the link on the SARL and AMSAT SA websites. The program for the symposium includes a selection of interesting presentations, of which many have practical applications such as building your on HF noise monitoring system with locally available software and hardware. The developer of IO-CAP, Piet van Zyl, will discuss HF frequency prediction and application of Sandton's HF prediction software. Two of the presentations deal with logging software. And the guest speaker from the UK, Derek Kozel, MOLNA and K0ZEL, who is an expert on software-defined radio, will talk about SDR homebrewing in the digital era. The full program is now available on the SARL web pages at sarl.org.za. That actually sounds like an awesome symposium. I know there's a number of other activities also taking place on the 6th of April. Why do we bunch them all together? But yes, if you can just register for that symposium, the SARL Technical Symposium. I have always found them very interesting in the past, and it is well worth spending some time listening to those presentations. We now move on to the SARL Hamnet Gauteng Reflects. On Saturday, 9 March, the leadership of SARL Hamnet Gauteng met at the National Amateur Radio Centre. The purpose of the meeting was to take a step back and do some introspection on where SARL Hamnet Gauteng currently stands and where it needs to be. It was a very productive meeting where it was decided that SARL Hamnet Gauteng urgently needs intervention and to change certain things if they want to move forward. One of the most important items identified is the lack of relevant communications training to prepare them for future deployments. The senior members must also mentor the junior members to ensure that knowledge and skills are developed to enable all to be ready to fulfill their mandate should they need to deploy either for disasters, aviation incidents, or sporting events. Gauteng is the smallest, yet most densely populated province, and membership must also be increased to be able to provide more efficient and effective emergency communications. Part of the changes include the current Regional Director, Leon, ZS6LMG, and Deputy Director, Johan, ZS6DMX, stepping down and taking on a more technical role in the unit, which aligns with their strengths. Meanwhile, Brian, ZS6YZ, and Hannes, ZS6EMS, have taken over the duties of regional and deputy directors and will lead the team through the transition until new leadership can be elected. The leadership will also each assume responsibility for key functions and divide the burden amongst them, making each individual stronger and ensuring that there is sufficient transfer of knowledge and skills so that any one of them can take over the command if the need arises. There's a lot of work to be done, and they are committed to making SARL Hamnet Gauteng the best Hamnet unit there is. You are listening to a news bulletin of the South African Radio League, broadcast from the Shack of Keith, ZS6HI, on behalf of the Sandton Amateur Radio Club. We have another reminder to register for the SARL National Convention. We can certainly not say that we haven't had a number of reminders. So, guys, if you still haven't registered for the SARL National Convention, please do so. It is worth mentioning that not many of the members or the committee will be able to get down to Cape Town for the SARL National Convention, but we do have representation from the club down there. So there are a couple of members who will be down there, and they'll be flying the flag for the Sandton Amateur Radio Club. Let's get on to the article. So Rule 11.7 of the rules of the SARL states that a quorum consisting of not less than 10% of the total number of league members entitled to vote being present in proxy at the meeting are needed before the SARL AGM can start at 900 hours on Saturday, 20 April 2024. Thus, 161 members present at the meeting or represented by proxy are required. At this stage, the SARL Secretary is aware of 90 registrations and proxies. If you cannot attend the AGM, please fill in the proxy form, which is available on the front page of the League website. From my side, personally, I would encourage everybody to, if you're not going to be able to attend the SARL AGM in person to please do fill in a proxy form and get that through to the SARL. I think there's a number of resolutions that have to be taken, and the SARL committee is doing an awesome job, and frankly we have to say a big thank you to them for what they are doing, and for even being willing to stand as the SARL leadership. The link to register for the SARL National Convention is available on the front page of the SARL website. The registration is for attending the AGM in person or via the virtual platform. Register today and stand a chance to win a Riedel UV97 new generation dual band radio with programming cable. The prize is for the SARL members present at the AGM venue. Oh, maybe I should get down there. That sounds like a nice little opportunity for those who are going to be able to attend to potentially be in the stand a chance to win a dual band radio. That is awesome. So just another endorsement, please guys, do fill in the proxy form, or if you're going to be down in the Cape Town area, how about even better yet, attending the AGM and the dinner on the Saturday night. It's going to be awesome, I think. Club news. This coming Wednesday is the Power Hour Tech Talk. Yes, this Wednesday, 27 March at 1900 CAT, 7 o'clock in the evening. The talk will be conducted via Zoom and relayed on the ZS6STN 145-700 repeater, on Echolink ZS6STN-R, and the connected All-Star node. The topic will be open wire transmission line and how to use open wire transmission lines in places you thought were forbidden, which is especially good for those who do not know much about ladder line, open wire transmission line, and their benefits. Our guest speaker will be John, W6MBC, and he will be taking us through several tests he has personally conducted, and will give us several ways that we can use open wire transmission lines, like window lines and ladder lines, to our advantage. And just from a personal note, I've always been hesitant to use a ladder line, but I do know that it's used on our ZS6BKW. It's used on the folded dipoles to great effect, and on the G5RV, and it is apparently a amazingly low attenuation feed line. So for those who are pushing out less than the QRP type power, this might be an opportunity for you as well. The talk is open to all, so please spread the word and join us in the collaborative fun of learning on Wednesday at 1900 CAT. The Zoom meeting ID is 844-3516-9512, and the passcode is 230278. If you have missed those IDs and the passcode, please go to the SARL upcoming events diary, and all the details are there for you. Please join us this Wednesday at 7 o'clock in the evening for the Power Hour Tech Talk on open wire transmission line. Contest news. The SSB leg of the 2024 CQ Worldwide CPX contest runs from 0 UTC on Saturday 30 to 23:59 UTC on Sunday 31 March. That's over the Easter weekend. The aim of the contest is to contact as many amateurs and prefixes as possible during the contest period. Only the 80, 40, 20, 15 and 10 meter bands will be used. The observance of established band plans is strongly encouraged. The exchange is an RS report plus a progressive contact serial number starting with 001 for the first contact. Get the rules at www.cqwpx.com/rules.htm. This is usually, the CQ contests are actually a lot of fun. I participate in the ones in October. I haven't tried this one yet, but I think it's well worth giving a go, especially if you've got nothing to do over the Easter weekend. Get on air and try your hand at the SSB leg of the CQ WPX contest. Then, on another note, the first leg of the SARL 80-meter QSO party takes place on Thursday, 4 April 2024. So more next week from the Durban Arc on this particular one. But just put that in your diary, the 80-meter QSO party on Thursday, 4 April 2024. And then most importantly, because we are the hosts of this particular contest, the autumn leg of the SARL QRP contest takes place from 1400 to 1600 UTC on Saturday, 6th of April. That's the same day as the technical symposium, unfortunately, but I think the technical symposium is mostly in the morning. So put this down, the SARL QRP contest from 1400 to 1600 UTC on Saturday, 6th April. The autumn leg even gives the late risers a chance to participate. You can operate from your QTH or from anywhere as a field or a portable field station, with the fun taking place across two bands, the 40-meter band and the 20-meter band, and 4 different modes. That's phone, FT8, JS8 call, and CW. There are several awards up for grabs, so come on and give it a go. It is all about experimentation and having fun. So let's be part of the fun on the 6th of April from 14 to 1600 UTC. At this point, we'll move on to the propagation report. Hannes Kutsia, ZS6BZP, reports that the solar activity is expected to be at low to moderate levels. There are currently 8 sunspot regions with simple to complex magnetic configurations visible. There is high probability for C-class and a moderate probability for M-class solar flares. If you want to do your frequency predictions, the expected effective sunspot number for the week will be around 119. The 10-meter to 30-meter bands may, especially in the late afternoon, provide some good DX fun. For more information, please visit the website spaceweathersansa.org.za. And at this point, I'd like to break, and I'd like to say, Chris, I know that you've just let us know a little bit about some space weather events. So perhaps, Chris, if you're on frequency, you can just give us an update on what's expected to take place over the 24th to 26th of March in terms of the propagation for the HF propagation. ZS6GM, ZS6STN is standing by.
Yeah, ZS6STN, ZS6GM. Well, in the last 36 hours, we've had quite a lot of solar activity, and particularly in the last 24 hours, there's been a major flare. The absorption rate at the moment, the absorption index is 32, the K index is 4, the solar flux is up over 200, and the sunspot number is round about 160. So what I urge you to do is go and look at the Australian Space Weather Centre, that's sws.bom.gov.au, and track the HF conditions. They give you a real-time T index as well, which takes into account everything which is going on. So if you are struggling with the lower frequencies and weak signals and so on, that would be the reason why. Back to you, Keith, from ZS6GM.
Thank you very much for that insight, Chris, and that information. I need to learn a little bit more about what these absorptions mean and these numbers mean. I just know that during the lull of the sun cycle, it was under 10 or single digits, and now it's over the 119 digits, but you're talking about absorptions. And I think we're going to do a little bit of a TikTok article now on something else which affects the solar weather as well. But thank you very much for coming back to that, Chris. Highly appreciated and giving us some insights. Right, at this point, I'd like to go over to Club News, the news of the Sandton Amateur Radio Club. So I'll first give a little bit of a brief on the items I've got listed here, and we will then open it up for others to add their voice to Club News. So you've heard about it in the SARL Bulletin. on Wednesday, this coming Wednesday, 27 March at 1900 hours, 7 o'clock in the evening, is our Power Hour Tech Talk on Zoom, and it will be relayed onto our repeater network, but Zoom would probably be the better way to go because I know that John and W6MBC uses slides, and it's always good to see the slides that he is speaking to. So please do join us this Wednesday evening for our Power Tech Talk on Open Transmission Line. Then we've already mentioned the QRP contest on the 6th of April, so do plan your QRP contest activations. So where are you going to be broadcasting from? Are you going to be on a high site? Are you going to be at your QTH? What antenna are you going to use? I know last time there were a number of people that said, their antenna wasn't performing up to scratch, so they want to try a few changes, and that's what it's all about. Experimentation and having fun. Are you going to do it with somebody, a member of the club perhaps, or are you going to be doing it alone? And how are you going to concentrate your activities, trying to get in the 20-meter band for the first hour, the 40-meter band for the second hour, and across those 4 modes? So remember, if you make 3 contacts in each mode, then you stand a chance to get the coveted QRP Master Award. Then something that we haven't sent out, well, it's been on the WhatsApp group, but on the 13th of March, Saturday the 13th of March, we are going to have a fox hunt in the Farmall region, Farmall, Farmall region, which is close to Broadacre Shopping Centre in Fourways, and that will be followed by a club social at my location, ZS6STN, in Farmall, Chartwell. We will send out the invitation for that to all members, and at the same time, this is an opportunity for us to meet the new students, our new incoming amateurs who are currently doing the RAE course. So we're going to do an HF assessment on the day, and we might experiment with a dipole, so they can cut a dipole to length. They can learn what they've been doing in theory, in practice. So we might do that, and then we'll use the dipole to perhaps make some of the HF assessment calls. But it'll be a great social, so do bring a chair, a hat, and come and join us on Saturday, the 13th of March. Then you may have also noticed Justin posted a Hackaday article based on the Quangsheng the UVK5, which is a little handy talkie, where this little handy talkie can receive full band access, and including SSB. I know that Justin was out at the last QRP contest, and he was showing us that it can actually receive SSB on the HF bands as well. So this little handy talkie is quite a little amazing handy talkie. So go and have a read on the Hackaday article, which is also published on the WhatsApp group. Then it's also, we've spoken about the CQWPX SSB contest over the Easter weekend and the 80-meter QSO party. But we also have to wish all members a happy Easter. So with this coming Friday being Good Friday, then Easter weekend, and then Family Day on the Monday. So to all members who celebrate Easter, please enjoy a happy Easter over this coming weekend. I see Chris has just indicated the sunspot number of 146, so that is very interesting. At this moment, the RAE course is on the go as well. If you do have anybody who would like to participate in the RAE course, please do get their names through to Samir on rae@zs6stn.org.za. And we'll now open it up for anybody else that wishes to give us some club news. ZS6STN is standing by for club news.
ZR6 Delta X-ray.
Good morning to you, Noel. Thank you very much for coming back for club news. ZR6DX, ZS6STN.
Good morning. Turn in, thank you very much for the bulletin so far. Yeah, we are going out on 7.115 this morning, and my noise level seems a little bit down, about 8 noise level this morning. Just an update from my side, not maybe so much club news, but just general news from the South African Radio League side. Currently, as we know, it's silly season for all the licenses, and we've uploaded nearly 200 payments so far to the ICASA website for all the licenses that the South African Radio League manage. And currently we've received and sent out approximately 110 licenses so far of all the payments received. Unfortunately, there's still about 100 people that have not even made a payment so far. So if you're one of those, please make sure that you make your payment before the end of this month. So we've got still a couple of days